Good morning. Call the Criminal Justice Committee to order on Wednesday, January 15th. Roll call, please.
Mr. Hess?
Present.
Mr. Lowy?
Present.
Mr. Carrico?
Present.
Mr. Swanson? Mr. Long?
Present.
Mr. Hunter? Miss Andrade? Present. Miss Armour Earps? Present. Miss Monday? Present. Miss Rittman-Agemi? Miss Amber Turner? Present. Mr. Marion? Mr. Crutcher? Mr. Nims?
Present.
Miss Denise Turner? Present. We do have a quorum.
I have not received anything for public comment. Is there any public comment at this time? Any public comment? Moving on, take a motion to approve the minutes of December 11th, 2024. Mr. Hunter and Mr. Carrico. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. I do not see the chief judge, so we'll move on to Circuit Clerk's office. Ms. Cianci. In your package, you have a copy of her monthly report. Take a motion to approve that by Mr. Lowy, second by Ms. Andrade. Good morning, Sandy. Comments on your reports?
Good morning, everyone. No, I don't have any comments, but I do want to welcome the new members to this committee. And it's a normal invitation for anyone to come to our office and take a tour and see what we do in the circuit clerk's office. So, but no, does anybody have any questions? For the new people, I guess I should maybe take a minute to explain. The disbursement report, the 3-page report, that is everything that we've collected and applied to all the cases. And each fund comes, there's all these funds, and they change every month depending on what the fines and the charges are. So this report may have different funds listed each month. But the grand total that we dispersed this month was $226,324.91. Then the Harris & Harris Local Debt Recovery Program, the one with the yellow highlights, that is what we do. We collect, we have an interface with Harris & Harris. So when the fines and fees are assessed against a case and the parties have a certain amount of time to pay those fees, when they don't pay those fees, then they're turned over to Harris & Harris. So as you can see the history, we've done this since 2011, so you can look at this chart and see the history of what we've collected. And so the laws and the statutes have changed now, where it's not as favorable for the collection process to collect money, so you'll see the decreases over the history of time. Our best year was probably, looks like 2018, and that was our peak. And after that, it's slowed down quite a bit. In the history of what the collections process was, we used to have our own court call where the people, they would either have to pay or appear. And if they did, when they appeared, then they would work out a deal with the judge, you know, like a payment plan or something like that. And they would come back to this collection call every month or whatever the court deemed was to happen. Well, then in 2011, we took that process out of the courts and put it into this third-party collection system. And so that's where the history of all that is. And then the Harris & Harris report, this shows what the number of cases that were turned over to them and what money was assessed towards that. They collect, the statute allows a 30% increase for the company, for them to do the work. And that fee does not come to us, but it comes through us sometimes. So if they pay $100, then 30 of it automatically goes to the Harris & Harris agency, and then the other 70 goes towards all these fines and fees on this list here. So I don't know, that's about the easiest explanation of how everything goes with our office with the collections division. If if you have any questions. or
questions?
comments.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. What else?
Well, we're still working with, we did a computer conversion in September for the new people, a case management conversion, so it's a huge project. I have 2 of the Tyler representatives coming today to start going through our checklist to figure out, you know, some of the outstanding items from September that haven't been addressed yet and get an action plan for that. We're working on getting the e-signature portion of that going, which would mean when we're in court and the parties are going to waive jail time or no, waive jury, sorry. They would sign the electronic pad and it would go into the system. Our warrants will be more electronic and there will be less hands passing warrants around, things like that. So that's basically the next phase, but we still have to get some of this other stuff completed first. And then another portion that we're going to be working on this year is the automated data reporting. So we need to report to the Secretary of State, Bureau of Investigation, State Police, things like that. And we're one of the last counties that has not been brought into the automated world. And it was a problem with our last case management system. So now we're going to get that going as well. So we have several big projects still ahead of us, even though we're in the new system. So we have a lot of work ahead of us.
But it's a lot better than what we had.
Yes, yes. The judges are all, they're doing pretty well with, you know, adjusting to the system. I don't think we're pulling any files anymore, which is a huge help on my office. So they're all working from their computer, which is tremendous. And, you know, now if we can get into the next phase of automation, it'll just be, everything will just be moving more smoothly. So, but that's about it.
Questions for Sandy?
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you. Chief Judge.
Morning.
Good
Sorry,
morning,
I'm
sir.
about 60 seconds late. You guys.
Oh, you had to walk through the parking lot.
Yeah, right. Don't have a lot to report today. Everything's going smoothly, as Sandy said. That with regard to the Tyler, the judges are on board with that, and all the ones that I've talked to, we love it, just because of the not having to handle the paperwork and doing it all on the computer. So it's a big plus. We are adjusted to it. We have our own section. It's called the Judges Edition that only the judges have, and that gives us access to the case files that are up that day that the clerks put into the system, and then it gives us access to the documents that are in that case file. So if we want to look at a bench warrant or something that was issued 6 months ago, we can just scan it and press a button and it pops up on the screen. So it is, so far for us, it's a great system. There are a lot of bugs with it that are getting worked out. You know, I thought it was like you go buy a car, you get the keys and you start it up and then you take off. Well, it wasn't quite like that, but we are getting the bugs worked out. I thought for the new people, I'd go ahead and explain how our judicial system works. In the state of Illinois, this will just take a minute. State of Illinois, there's 24 circuits, and usually the circuits are at least one county. Like Cook County is its own circuit, and then Kankakee County, which is the 21st Judicial Circuit, you may see that number somewhere, is 2 counties. It's Kankakee and Iroquois. We have 12 judges. We have 10 in Kankakee and 2 in Iroquois. The 2 in Iroquois live there, and they're permanently assigned to Iroquois County. And then our other 10 judges are here in Kankakee. We do have 9 courtrooms at the courthouse. It was originally built with 2 courtrooms, and we've expanded into some of the used to be county offices over there, like the county clerk used to be over there. We've expanded those and made those into courtrooms, so we now have 9 courtrooms. All the cases are heard in the courthouse with the exception of the mental health hearings. We have a judge that goes over and a public defender and a state's attorney and a court reporter that goes over to the hospitals, mostly Riverside Hospital, and we have our mental health hearings over there. They've been everywhere from the courthouse to out Manteno. When it was Manteno State Hospital, we used to have the hearings out there, but now they're held at the hospital. It's mostly for convenience of the patients that are already there in the hospital, and also the physicians. Other than that, just answer any questions. Anybody has any questions? Okay.
Mr. Hunter.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Chief Judge Cunnington, do you have any problems with securing court reporters at all?
That's a statewide issue. I have a meeting tomorrow in Chicago with the court reporter service. We have about 8 court reporters in Kankakee County. There's one in Iroquois, and they are paid for by the state, as are the judges. But it is a continuing problem. We did get 2 court reporters from Cook County. They like just basically the same pay because it's statewide organization, but they like our standard of living, I guess, is probably what I would describe the slower pace down here, and so we've had 2 recent ones because we've had some retirements. We had a death, and we've had a couple retirements. So we did get 2 from Cook County, and then we have one young court reporter that's the daughter of a more senior court reporter, and she passed all her tests, and she's now a full-fledged court reporter. So we are at full staff right now. But other counties, they're borrowing, they're moving around. There are some problems.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Up next, State's Attorney's Office. Mr. Coghlan, in the package you have a copy of the grand jury report and the grand jury statistics report. Take a motion to combine and approve them. Ms. Turner and Mr. Lowry. Ms. Turner moments. Morning, John.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman. How are you?
Wonderful, sir. Comments on your report?
I don't really have any comments. We did, as promised by Mr. Rowe last month, we did get the we have 2 grand jury reports in this report. I would also note for the new people that there is still a collection call that our office does. Desi Gore in my office pretty much puts everything together. Our ability to collect things, though, as Sandy indicated, has been terribly hampered by there's really not much teeth in the law anymore. They used to take away driver's licenses. Now you can't do that, so collections are still tough to do, but we still are at it with diminished capacity. But other than that, I've got nothing else, but I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Questions? We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Up next, Public Defender's Office, Mr. Pennewick. In the package you have a copy of his monthly report. Take a motion to approve that. Ms. Andrade, second by Mr. Carrico.
Good morning. I have no comments regarding my report. If anyone has any questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
Good numbers on the first 2 again.
Yeah, I do have end of year data. Again, the data is not fungible, but it's it's so random. If an attorney keeps a file in their office, it doesn't get to my office manager. It doesn't show it as closed. If there's a warrant sweep, cases that we consider closed become active again. So if the sheriff picks up 30 felons in a month, that's 30 more cases on our records, on our docket. But according to the statistics, the way we keep them, there's the reduction of approximately 50 felony cases from last year to this year. So that's a good start moving forward, or going forward. Again, I've talked about this before. It's not reducing backlog is relevant because it helps my office, it helps the judiciary, it helps the entire court system, but at the end of the day, it's not my job to move cases. It just isn't. You know, I'm not being, feel like I'm being a jerk today. I don't know why, but I'm not trying to be. It's, the goal is that, you know, I represent the client, and it's my, you know, it's what my client's best interests are. So, but of course, it helps us also. So that's something that I've always, you know, kept an eye towards. So other than that, I have no other additional comments.
Questions? We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Have a good day, everybody. Thanks.
Up next, probation. Mr. Latham, in your report, you have a copy of the monthly report. Take a motion to approve that. Miss Andrade, Miss Monday. Morning, Tom.
Good morning. Regarding the report, I was going to go over year-end totals and how they compared to last year. We're having a little glitch with our system and the transition from our old case management system to the Tyler system. We have to work that out. There was a few glitches with the numbers we saw. So I just want to get them right. So maybe hopefully next month I should have it and we can go over it.
Any questions on Tom's report? We have a motion to second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Declaring surplus vehicle.
Yeah, we have a 2008 Impala, so I think it's had its life. We'll auction it off.
They'll auction, yeah. We'll probably give this on to the planning department.
There
They're
you go.
used to getting all the stuff anyway.
It starts sometimes,
Yes.
so.
We need a motion to Mr. Hunter, second by Miss Andrade. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Well, sir.
The only other thing is our mental health court program, certified by the Administrative Office of Illinois Courts recently, which is a big deal and a lot of work for the team involved, which involves everybody in this room, except maybe the coroner's office, I guess, but everybody else. And so, like I said, the application process is a lot of work. It's a lot. They come down for on-site visits, and you know, it's good. Now we have that, the Veterans Court and our drug court program all certified. So now 3 years later, we'll do it again, or 3 years from now.
Yeah.
So.
Any questions for Tom?
Thank you.
Up next, the sheriff. In the package, you have a copy of his monthly report. Take a motion to approve that by Mr. Lowry, second by Ms. Andrade. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, everybody. So the monthly report, there's not a whole lot. Obviously, it's the first month. These reports are run. I know we run our budgets on a fiscal year from December 1st to November 30th. These reports run from January 1 to 12/31. So this is technically the first month of this report. We are also working on our year-end statistics as we have every year, and we are hoping to have them next month as well. Everything else that we have seen a little bit in this last month of an uptick in U.S. Marshal numbers, so that's a positive. I don't know if that's due to the change of administration in Washington, D.C. Or what, but for some reason we've started to see an uptick, which is good. A couple things to note are courthouse traffic. If you look down under this section 2, the courthouse traffic has pretty much gotten back to normal. Still slightly lower than it was last year, but not by very much. So we're, needless to say, these numbers are significantly higher than they were 2, 3, and 4 years ago, mainly due to COVID. So that's all I got on the report.
Any questions on the report? We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Yeah, just two things real quick. As some of you may or may not know, and if you're new to the board, you probably don't, but a couple of years ago, I don't even know how long ago, our FOIA officer for the sheriff's office was responsible for all the FOIAs that were sent to Kankakee County, whether they were sheriffs, whether they were circuit clerk, county clerk, whatever, and we worked with those department heads to get the information. State's attorney's office was a huge help for us, and I can tell you that last year there were 660 total FOIAs. Yeah, wow, 660. So I can tell you that on June 10th, or I should say on June 11th, we reached out to Anita and her staff because the FOIAs were somewhat overwhelming for our staff. The FOIAs being of those of other departments. So all the other department FOIAs are now going to administration, which is great. But I can tell you that from January 1st to June 10th, there were 293 total FOIAs, 200 by the sheriff, 200 that were directed at the sheriff's office, and 93 for the other departments. After June 10th, on June 11th, from June 11th to December 31st, there were 367 FOIAs filed that were sheriff only, and I don't even know the number of FOIAs that were sent to administration because we didn't have access to those anymore. So that's significant. But I can tell you that last year, because of the Safety Act, body cameras, because we knew that our FOIA numbers would go up, we were budgeted a position for somebody to handle not necessarily the FOIAs themselves, but the redaction of body-worn cameras, because that is the time-consuming thing when we do FOIAs. So we have a person in that position right now. Redaction is time-consuming, and we are presently looking for some redaction software that is inexpensive, but still will be efficient enough to make it worth our while to look at. So we're in the process of doing that. We're trying to keep the cost low. I can tell you that just based on the last 6 months, that, and with body cam footage now standard everywhere, everybody should have body cameras now, including the state police, who were the last ones to be required to have them. I look for that number to continue to increase. So just wanted to make you aware of the FOIAs. Yes. Oh, I guess that's your
Ms.
job.
Monday.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Sheriff, so can you just give an example of what would be redacted if it's a FOIA that's coming into you for some body cam footage?
Yes.
What would be redacted
So
from that?
on a traffic offense, if there's somebody sitting in the passenger side, if there's somebody in the back seat,
Okay.
it's just strictly that. You know, crime scenes, if there's witnesses, if there's people around, the only thing that we include in the FOIA is what was asked for, and we redact. And minors, I mean, you know, there's all
okay.
kinds of things that are
Gotcha.
redacted.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you.
You said you were trying to keep this low. What is a ballpark figure for low?
How much money you got? I don't, honestly, Mr. Hess, we're not sure yet.
You're not sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're not sure yet. But we are trying to keep it as low as we possibly can.
Over the years, sometimes cheap is not the best.
No, that's right.
Yeah,
And that's why I
I mean,
said,
you
we're trying to
keep
make
that
it
in mind,
efficient.
yeah.
We're trying to make it as efficient as we possibly can, but still keep the price down.
No.
I mean, adding the body for us was a huge help, and a credit to Chairman Wheeler and Chairman Alexander Hildebrand, who has continued that position in our budget. It has been a help there's no doubt. And we don't anticipate adding another body or asking for another body. And we're hoping that the redaction software, as these requests continue to increase, that redaction software will help us out a lot. So,
Any questions? What else?
Last thing, our mental health pilot, it has gone very well. It has actually put Kankakee on the map from the standpoint of statewide, and I can tell you that the reactions we get from other sheriffs has been, why in the hell would you do this? Because we are taking their mental health inmates who have been found unfit, bringing them here. They're getting treated. Some are going on to a mental health bed for the state of Illinois. Some have actually been found fit and have been sent back to their counties to go through their court process. And the benefit of this entire program, not only statewide, but to work with a statewide organization like DHS, but it also affects our local inmates. And it has been we are now down, I believe, to 1 in our custody who is presently unfit to stand trial. And that number has been as high as 8 to 10 at one point. So to be able to get the treatment, the resources, the medication that is all paid by the state of Illinois has been great for our local inmates as well as across the state. So we're happy with the way that's going, and there's actually another county that has shown an interest in doing this as well, and I think that's great, because that's obviously there are people who are in jail who because of their mental health issues probably don't need to be in jail. They need to be treated for their mental health condition more so than they need to be in jail. So it's been very beneficial.
Questions on that? Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you. Stay warm, everybody.
Yes. Up next, Animal Control, Ms. Laird. In package, have a copy of Carrie's monthly report. Take a motion to approve that. Ms. Turner and Ms. Emming. Good morning.
Good morning. So on the report, the total revenue for the month of December, 26,000 of that, was for 2024's revenue, because the fiscal year December is going for 2025. So 26,000 of that was for the year of 2024. Along with the revenue, just to let you guys know, we don't receive tax dollars. So all of our revenue that we receive is by registration for rabies tags and fees and fines. So that's something that people assume that we receive tax dollars, and we don't. We do have 5 contracts, and with that meaning our animal control officers are assigned to the county of Kankakee, covering the same area that deputies do, except for those 5 contracts, which are Roma Park, Buckingham, Bourbonnais, Chabance, and Grant Park. And we're currently working on 1 to 2 more contracts. So, working on it. So, yep. That's all I have for the report.
Questions? We have a motion to second on the report. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. 84 animals this month.
That's the money we handled. Yeah, it's quite a few. December was a tough month. We've had worse, but for a winter month, we've been pretty busy. So quite a few animals in our building currently as well. We took on a mom and 11 puppies recently, a Great Dane size mother and 11 puppies. A rescue came in and took her from us, so that was fantastic. That she has since moved on to a foster home, and she is having whelping her puppies in the raising her puppies, in a foster home, which is a great environment to do rather than our facility.
You can adopt one.
Yeah, Tails and DeKalb took them, so. Yeah. And then we recently took in 6 dogs from a residence over the weekend, and another rescue came in and took some dogs to offset that, so which was helpful. Which is River Valley took those from us. Yeah, I know where you can find 12 of them.
Yeah.
So. Well, he's Great Dane size, so. Okay.
Anything else for Carrie? Thanks,
All
Kid.
right. Thank you.
Up next, the coroner's office, Mr. Gessner. In your package, you have a copy of Bob's monthly report and the monthly receipts of money. Take a motion to combine and approve them, Mr. Carrico and Mr. Lowry.
Morning.
Good morning, sir.
How are you?
Wonderful.
Beautiful day. Huh?
Any day you get up, it's a beautiful day.
I think you've all received our annual report, and then I'm just going to go over some highlights, very brief. The exact numbers of call that we had in 24 and 23 totaled of 1,302. So that was the total number of calls. We had a decrease in the autopsies from 23 down to 84 in 2024. Continuing seeing an increase in cremation permits requested on the average over the last several years of 829 total cremation permits, which represents about 64%. As you know, that a lot of people are not being buried, they're getting cremated more. So 10 lives we saved through partnerships with Gift of Hope, been able to give out organs to save other people's lives, which we were very proud of, with 10 saves this year on people. 14 fewer overdoses in 24 than previous year. We finished at 20, which is really remarkable. The top 3 drugs were cocaine, fentanyl, and methamphetamines. The average age was 50 years of age. Continuing to monitor increase of African Americans over overdose deaths since the start of 22. We're going to try to work out a lot more out in different areas. OD costs the county approximately $31,000, $678 for autopsies, toxicology, etc., not including salaries. Total 29 motor vehicle fatalities in 24. That was an increase of 14 from 23, which again, our numbers might not be the same as the sheriff because we get from Will and Iroquois come into our county because of the 2 trauma centers. And 18 deaths were contributed to COVID. And I talked to you last month on the HIPAA trailer, hidden in plain sight trailer. That's been a great help to help us bring down the ODs, and along with going education throughout the county and schools, which we're continuing doing. In my monthly report out of there, you can see it's only one line out of there in December there. So basically at 120 calls, 13 coroner calls, which means that the coroner has to sign off on the death certificate, which means pulling medical records and stuff like that to read. Hospice were 47, referrals were 84, which the doctor signs. Cremations were 84, referrals were 57. But I can tell you right now, this is January 15th, and we've been hit pretty hard already with ODs and with a lot of autopsies already, and 2 homicides, possibly 3. We're still pending 4 right now to get the final answer, all that. But other than that, we should be in pretty good shape to go on 25. Continuing today, I'll be at the senior fair with the sheriff, and along with Jim Rowe puts that on there, and talk on some of the statistics and try to work on getting out more into the public. So other than that,
Questions or comments on the reports? Have a motion, a second. Miss Earps, sorry.
What's the average age on
Microphone,
the,
please.
Oh, sorry. What's the average age on the accident, like fatal for a car accident? Do you have any idea?
I'll go to my chief deputy. It's in my report.
He's looking on his phone. Hang on. Anyway, going back to the reports, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Don't see
Motion
them on.
carries.
I'll see them on.
He's looking.
Yeah, you can give it to me afterwards. I was just curious.
42? 42.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you, sir.
That's about it. Just remind yourself, you wanna come through the morgue and stuff like that, let me know, I'll have to take you through it.
You've never seen an autopsy, it's well worth it. Ugh. Anyway, is there any old business to come before the committee? Any old business? Any new business? Any new business? Mr. Carrico? Second by Ms. Monday. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Oh, out in the snow.
Yes.